Okay, so how many of y'all know y'all's credit scores?
Oh.
I want you to think of your credit score and what it means to you. A credit score is something you use to, if you want to borrow something, and even as I got my job as a banker or a loan processor, I had to get my credit score pulled and to see what my credit was. If my credit was bad, I got questioned about it. You know, it was all kinds of different stuff you had to situate before you could get the job with a credit score. So it can affect your financial life big time if you have a low credit score. You know, you can't get a house, you can't get a car, you know, stuff like that. Having 5 years of experience in the banking world, I have come to know what a credit score is, and I've learned the depth behind it and how much it means to someone and how much it can mess up your financial life throughout the years. So I'm just going to kind of go in depth of what a credit score is and what it can mean to you. So, per the Demographic Variables and Credit Scores published by International Journal of Selection and Assessment, the definition of a credit score is a number assigned to a person that indicates to lenders their capacity to repay a loan. So, in other words, if you borrow $600 and it takes you 6 years to repay it back, you know, your credit score is not going to be too good. It's good to have a history with credit, but you don't want to, you know, mess it up or not pay it back, period, or pay late. That causes your credit score to go down. There's 3 main credit bureaus. There's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Experian is a global company, whereas TransUnion and Equifax is just an American company. So those are the top 3 that you will get pulled if you go to a bank to try to borrow money. You know, they'll say, hey, we're pulling Equifax to see what your credit score is, or you may go to a different one, and it may be TransUnion, and your numbers may be a little different, but most of the time they're going to be about the same. So credit score ranges. You can have an excellent credit score of 750 and above, which is perfect. I mean, I've never seen anybody with me dealing with it that had more than an 800. A good credit score is 700 to 749. That's about average. Between good and fair is about average of what you see when a customer comes in. Fair ranges is 650 to 699. Poor is 550 to 649, and bad is 550 and below. So, you know, once you get down there to the bad and poor is when you have trouble getting anything. I mean, it's going to be hard to even get a personal loan, a student loan, you know, any of that kind of stuff is going to be tough to get. So per Trends and Applications published by the Journal of Consumer Affairs, the formula to a good credit score is always pay your bills on time. You have a set date to pay your bill back, so you may have a due date of the 15th. You want to pay it on the 15th or before. You don't want to pay it any time after, because that can affect your credit score after 30 days. You don't want to max out your credit. If you get a credit card and you have a limit of 500, you don't want to overdo it and spend 650 on it or get close to it, because that can also affect your credit score. You don't want to apply for new credit constantly. I mean, you get a car 1 year and decide, hey, I want 3 credit cards later. Having that much a hard hit on your credit will also make your credit score drop. But you also don't want to rush to close credit accounts, because once the credit account is closed, you don't have that there to show that you are paying back and having good communication with your bank. So having a good history, keeping a long history of having a good time on paying stuff back and paying on time and paying the right amount helps with working your credit score. So, like I was saying, just to kind of a recap, it's always good to keep a good credit score. That way you can buy a house in the future, or, you know, buy a car whenever you need a new one, credit cards if you need something, you know, personal loans, going on vacation in the summer, or stuff like that. You want to make sure that your credit score stays good. Also, having no credit is just about as having bad credit. So you always kind of want to start young, you know, and try to start a small credit card or get a small, you know, unsecured loan just to start building your credit, so once you get older, you can buy the things you want, you know, car, house, you know, whatever else you may need. But just make sure you keep that credit score good and try to pay things on time, and you should be good.